Hey everybody, welcome to Obscurities in Miniatures. Today we committed a very sacrilegious thing and purchased a Transformers model kit. That is not like me. I've given my brother much grief over the years over his love of Transformers, but then I saw this and I was like, you know what, this actually looks pretty cool. And obviously the price was right, and the spouse was willing, so I was like, let's go for it. So this is Shattered Glass Drift, and I'm pretty sure Drift is the Transformer. These are authentic, and what's interesting about these is that they actually are all licensed out of China. China has been doing some serious groundwork lately when it comes to putting out some interesting models. And when I see original kits, original designs, I am absolutely going to support that kind of stuff. Obviously, we want to support every artistic endeavor, especially when people are giving it all for something legit. So, I have no idea who Shattered Glass Drift is, but he has a very samurai-like style, and I'm quite impressed. So, I had been looking lately at a lot of Chinese mecha, and I gotta say, I've been super tempted by some of the high-end stuff I've been seeing, the non-Transformers as well. So, I am going to take a chance. We're going to put this sucker together and see how it goes. Ooh, shiny stickers. Instruction manual. We'll take a look at that in a sec. I'm assuming those are his car lights. I think they go in his chest. Pre-painted parts. That's cool. This is from Furai Models. I'm not 100% sure. I'll have to double check that myself. Lots of random parts. There's a lot of bits here, I gotta say. Sadly, the sword is a boring gray and not a cool-looking chrome. And these feel like actual rubber polycaps. That's cool. Let's take a look at the instructions, because those are always interesting to see. Alright, so we can get a good look at the model. So very samurai-like. Dig the two big swords. Looks like he's got an even longer one on his back. A little bit of directions. Everything is actually in English. That's surprising. Huh. I mean, the instructions look pretty dense just glancing over them. I mean, it doesn't look overtly complex, especially if you've had a history of building Gunpla and model kits and all that in general. Flame Toys, okay. Maybe those are the creators. I'm not up on my Chinese manufacturers, unfortunately. Of course, I'm not up on all my Japanese ones either, but I am going to give it a go. I'm going to put this sucker together. We'll see how it stacks up at least to some modern Gundams, and hopefully we will all enjoy the results. Alright, we got Drift all put together here, and I gotta say, I'm pretty pleased with the model overall. In terms of posability, things work nice, quite smooth. The proportions I really dig with those thick, chunky thighs. Very Obari looking mecha design, very brave robot. However, there's some issues I had with the leg design. It's really weird and it doesn't really connect very well. Some of the joints and putting the parts together were not very cooperative, and it took me a bit of time to actually get things attached. You'll notice there is a polycap missing. I had it, and getting this waist piece together was not very cooperative. I really fought and fussed with it for a while. I know I have an extra cap somewhere that's going to fit it. So that's why he does not have his hip blades on at the moment. I also don't have his big sword attached right now because it doesn't really want to... Well, I should say the scabbard itself doesn't really want to stay together. The part that connects to the body is fine, but then there's so much weight on the rest of it since I haven't glued it together yet. It just kind of pops off. but it attaches like so. I dig the shininess and all of the very shiny, sparkly decals. That was an interesting touch. I haven't even used them all. There were tons and tons. Nice looking sword, and since his legs have such a nice range of movement, he's able to get into very dynamic poses, which I'm not going to bother with. I'll let you guys play and fiddle around with your models. See, there goes the scabbard. It does not want to stay on there. In terms of size, see, like, they're very posable, very flexible. I'm just going to take that off for now. It doesn't want to cooperate. Here we go. In terms of size, it's a little bit bigger than a typical Bandai 1/144th, probably closer to a 1/100th scale model, and bigger than a Super Mini Pla as well. So it's got a good size to it. And honestly, it for the price, I feel like it was a pretty reasonably nicely constructed kit, other than some of the spots that didn't really want to go together that well. And I feel like his feet are just too loose for my tastes. I think it's a pretty solid entry. I didn't even mention his waist is quite posable as well. The vents for letting the arms flex even higher. I just wish that things had snapped and stayed on a little bit better. But you know what? It's nothing that a little glue can't fix either. These two pieces right here wanted to pop off all the times on the front of his thighs. You can see here, I believe this, was it his right one, did not want to really go together all that neatly. But otherwise, a very solid kit. I definitely could see people getting a lot of play and posing value out of this, and it's a nice color scheme. It looks different than all of the typical Bandai Gundam kits. And I'll be honest, I probably am going to consider picking up some more of the models. Now, I looked at the prices of some of those Flame Toy figures, and I mean, yeah, they look nice, but man, you are paying some premium prices there. And at that price, I can just go get myself a whole new printer, which would be way more fun to play with. So, I don't know. Got to balance those things out. Thankfully, these seem to be quite easily acquired in the States. I've seen these at most major Barnes & Noble retailers, anime shops, all that stuff, readily available on Amazon and eBay and all those places. If you're in the EU, I have no idea what distribution is like, but hopefully it's just as good as it is here in the States. So I'm going to have my fingers crossed that they're eventually going to do a Grimlock. I would love to see a Grimlock model done like this. Fingers crossed. I know they've done, you know, a lot of the other big name guys. Not that I think Drift here is a big name Transformer. Maybe he is. I don't know. I know who Grimlock is, though. And I know who Ultra Magnus is. So that should say something. If I know the names, I did not know this guy prior to building him. So there you go. Anyways, with that said, this has been High Lord Tamberlane with Obscurities and Miniatures, saying thanks for watching, and we will see you back here soon. Bye-bye.